quizzes. Why do we have quizzes? Good question. You know, in my traditional brick and mortar classes, I don't have quizzes. The students do the homework, and they know they have to work on the homework, because if they don't, they won't get the most out of each lecture class. You know, when they come to class, they have to know a little bit of the material so that they know what I'm doing, and they know what questions to ask, and they can get the maximum benefit from each class if they are working on the work, the homework, in conjunction with the lectures. But it's a funny thing about online class. I've been teaching online for many years now, and especially in my astronomy class, I would find that if I had a deadline for an assignment or a quiz, that more than half the class would wait until the very last moment to do that quiz or assignment right before the deadline. It's invariably human nature. It has something to do with the online environment as well, because of the flexibility of it all. But I would have a deadline, and sure enough, you know, right up, it might be 12 midnight, and I have half the class doing the quiz at 10 p.m. on the very last night. And if something goes wrong, then they miss that deadline. Well, that can work for astronomy, but it can not work for physics. Physics is an analytical subject. You need to be able to learn techniques. You need to be able to practice those problem-solving techniques. You need to have a long-term memory associated with short-term memory as far as your analytical techniques. You've got to be working on problems right away, and you have to keep on working on problems throughout the course. So, that's the purpose of the quiz. Quiz is designed to quiz you on the problems that were due that week, and to make sure that you've been working on those problems. Now, the majority of the quizzes, well, the quizzes are going to be two questions. The quiz will be 25 minutes long, so it's plenty of time to work out two questions, multiple choice answers. So even if you didn't study that week, you could actually go into the quiz and guess answers if you wished. The quizzes are worth a total of 10% of your full grade. So it's not worth that much. And if you have 12 quizzes over the course of the semester, then each individual quiz is worth less than 1% of your total grade. So if you missed a quiz, I'm not going to sweat it, and neither should you, because it's less than 1% of your total grade. You should be able to rebound from that. On the other hand, if you're thinking, I need an A in this class, and the difference between 89% and 90% is 1%, then you want to be doing all the quizzes. And hence, it means enough for you to want to do it, and not so much that it is a burden on you. But you should be working out the problems anyway. That's part of your aspect of learning this course. This is a basis course for a lot of things to follow, and we need to keep you working on problems. Practice makes perfect. So we have these quizzes. Now, my quizzes are designed to be taken directly out of the problem sets. I'm going to be looking in the problem sets for two nice characteristic problems out of the problem sets for that week, and I'm going to pull them out, change a couple of numbers, and then put that on the quiz. So it's nothing dramatic, nothing weird. It's going to be right out of the problem sets. For instance, let's take a look at a quiz here. Let's look at let's go to these weekly quizzes. Let's say we'll look at quiz 4 here. We'll begin. And people are writing down what these questions are. All right, so here's a problem on quiz 4. We've got 3 blocks. They're connected by cords, and they're being pulled in actually 2 directions, but one force is greater than the other. It says the horizontal surface on which these objects slide is frictionless. If mass 1 is 1 kilogram, mass 2 is 3 kilograms, mass 3 is 5 kilograms, and the force is 6 newtons, F is 6 newtons. What is the tension in string number 1? All right, this is a nice basic problem, and it's really just pulled right out of the problem set. There is a problem in the problem set that is very similar to this. Let's see if we can find it. If we go back into chapter 5 and we looked at our problem sets, we got all of our videos here, and actually I think it's problem number 8. So if I click on 8, which I already have up here, here's problem number 8 and 5. And the same thing, 3 blocks, different masses, strings, 3F pulling on one side, 2F on the other, different numbers. But this problem has been worked out in full detail in video on EduCreations and also uploaded to YouTube. So as you go through this problem, the whole thing has been worked out on video. So if you worked out the problems, you wouldn't know how to do this kind of problem, and you'd be ready for the quiz. And even if you didn't work out this problem, you got 25 minutes, and these videos are usually no longer than about 5 minutes. I wonder how long this one is. Let's just take a look. All right, this one is 6 minutes long. Okay, it's a longer one. But even if you didn't know how to do the problem, you could actually find the problem in the problem set that is very similar with the numbers changed. You could look at that solution or even call up EduCreations on a different computer and look at the solution, figure out which numbers were changed, plug those into the solution, come up with the answer, and I wouldn't know the difference. I can't monitor these quizzes over the internet, so I wouldn't know if you did that. But even if you did that, it would be beneficial to you. So I'm not sweating that either, because it would force you to be looking at the problems and to think about them and to work them out, even in a quiz environment. And maybe that would inspire you to continue working on the problems like you should and continue to learn more about the problem-solving method. So I can't monitor that, and I don't care. I just want you to be working out problems, and that is the purpose of the quiz in general. But I have to make it worth something to make it give you some incentive to do it. So that's our purpose for the quiz, and like I said, it's worth less than 1%, so you don't want to miss doing it, but it's not enough for you to worry about it if you had a bad week and somehow you weren't able to study that week. But it's enough to keep you working on problems like you should. You should be working out all the problems in the problem set, and practice makes perfect, looking at solutions and then working them out, physically working them out. That's what you should be doing. That gets you ready for the quiz. Quiz is not worth that much, but if you had the same kind of problem on a test, worth a lot. So you want to use these to help you get in practice, key down your skills, so that when you take the tests, which are proctored, then you're ready for those, and that's where the points really count a lot. So it'll get you ready for the test. So that's what it is for the quizzes, and I hope that this works for you.